Yo, what's going on, yo? This Anthony Gutierrez here. Just trying to get a Facebook account, and says it sent me a message to my phone, but I haven't received a message to my phone to get a confirmation number. Looks like the government don't want me on Facebook today. Also, little things like something just broke down in my car today, and this isn't a new occurrence. This is a government agenda, and everyone's heard of it before. It's when they start messing with the people who are reporting on them. So if you're a person reporting on them, you're going to get harassed. And people don't believe it. People don't believe that stuff happens, or they're not worried about it. But if you're awakening and you're becoming an enlightened soul, or you're, even if you don't want to call yourself an enlightened soul and you want to just say you're waking up, well, you have to wake up to other things too and know how to group together in order to offset these government officials who have their own idea and agenda of exactly how they want you to be and what they want you to be. So I started this not a web page. I'd love to start a web page, I probably will, but I started writing this page here where it's about the government and how every new ager has comments on their blogs, YouTube sites, any of those accounts, and if you can leave a comment, the government is subliminally messaging you. That means the government also will make comments in your comment section, especially if you're spouting stuff which they call negative energy, which is that could be the truth also. When I go about this, I'm not thinking about the government, because they already decided what they're going to do to me. Even when I'm positive, they shut my truck. Last year was targeted and the motor was running bad, and they have the weaponry to shut down a vehicle, and they don't consider it a crime. They say they're doing a justice, and they just enacted the ability to target more individuals who they consider the less outspoken, or those who are awakening, and also to mess with everybody. They had to redefine it because they used to fuck with me a lot back in the years when the Illuminati was running this, and then they shut down the Illuminati section, and now they're calling it the government, and they're kind of trying to reorganize what they think is right. And they're going back into the same old Illuminati tricks. You know, when you say you're not going to shoot black people no more, and you stop for 2 years and you start shooting black people again, well, guess what? You're the same agency. And that's what they do. You know what I'm talking about? You know, this country hasn't changed yet. The white people in power are still the white people in power. And even myself, I'm not white enough. I'm a half Mexican, half white guy. And being half Mexican and being in touch with my Mexican roots of shamanism and knowledge about what is right, I can tell you the government is not down with that. They get me so pissed off, yo. They make me want to make a video and reveal them. That's the worst thing you could do to them, is reveal them. They don't want you to know. They don't want us to make these little videos even that have the truth in them. If nobody says it and you keep it in your mind, it's like a closed book. Then they just harass you from there. But if you put it out on paper, then even if they harass you, I'm still telling the truth, and then that negates what they're doing. So they manipulate you with mind absorption. They just absorb everything you're doing and make it transparent. Well, the aliens are helping them, but don't pay any attention to that. You still got to fight for your own rights. The aliens, they're not going to exactly, they're not going to protect you or side with you totally. They'll let you go to court. They'll take you to the court of the mind, or help you to set things up. But even that's a difficult affair for most people. You know what I'm talking about? I mean, A lot of us, like, we seek help and then we don't understand why we didn't get it, or it didn't work out exactly the way we wanted to. The government is pretending to be what is known as an entity. I'm writing everything all backwards. I can't even spell it right now. But the fact of the matter is, they're trying to be a disembodied agency, but when you look at them, they're still a bunch of white men. Individual white men who go and do their political thing, go home and don't know how to fuck their wives or treat their woman, and can't even handle their own affairs. They're still uncoordinated. They still can't fathom what the alien agenda is, but they could make rules and pretend like they do because they have a big old computer. And don't think they don't have a computer. They have a bunch of new age technology that is still hidden. And if you don't know about it, once again, we've seen this word too. It's plausible deniability. And they use plausible deniability. If you don't know about it, they're not going to tell you. So they'll use plausible deniability. I try to get a simple Facebook account. They have mind control technology. They know what my agenda is to get onto Facebook and to let everybody know, and they're not down with that. Even the thing with the truck today wasn't new last night, or maybe 4 nights ago. Is less than 1 week. I was outside driving, and a craft was flying on the left side of my truck, and I went all the way around town and it stayed on the left side of my truck. Well, right before I got home, this truck shot back straight towards me, and that's part of that jade helm where they're doing military exercises and they're changing their agenda of what they could do, just like the drones being in America. When they say drones, they're talking about more than one thing. They're talking about their drones flying around spying, and if you're doing something they don't agree with, which is still American, then they're going to harass you individually. As a group, they'll make you think you're crazy. You see all these new age videos, there's always planes roaring in the back. Like, as soon as good information comes out, there's planes roaring in the back, harassing you. You know, the person looks like they have a scared face on them. They don't even know the plane's behind them. It's just the roar. The plane is scaring the shit out of them because it's pointed at them, pointed at their energy features to scare them. You know, if something's loud enough, you'll jump. So they make that plane roar and hit you at the right spot. So that plane kind of stopped, shot straight back. So it's not a plane. All these things in the sky at night, they're not all planes. Even during the day, they have a cloaking device, which, you know, you can watch videos of the UK and Japan. Both already revealed they do have this technology. So it's not so futuristic as you would assume. You know, if you're assuming, you're wrong, because I've already seen it. It's on TV. You can go see it right now. Go look it up. So this vehicle stopped in mid-air, shot back directly to the opposite direction, coming towards me at like 50 miles per hour, which planes don't double back or fly 50 miles per hour. And if you ever seen a ship in the sky, a spaceship, you would know that the government acquired spaceships. They don't want you to know still. We got to blast this out. It's not the aliens are the ones flying spaceships only, or government spaceships. It's a vehicle that they stole, and it's part of America, and it's part of the world, and you're not getting the rights to it. These government officials are servants of the people, so they're supposed to serve the people, but they're not. They're harassing me. Okay, so this is just food for thought. Eat up, because no one else is going to serve you knowledge for free. They all have their little agenda, like, oh, I'm a star fairy child, stuff like that. But that's not the only thing that's important. You got to know what the government's doing to you. All day long on TV, it's a mind manipulation game. And they say it's transparent. That means it's undetectable. You notice it, you go to examine it, and you can't find enough of it. But you've seen it. It was there. You know, Fox News reporting on issues that have no real Topic: a train derailed? Really? That's Fox News worthy? That's not Fox News worthy. That was the old World Bank agenda that you have to report on incidents that affect them monetarily, so they could charge you a higher price. It wasn't anything to do with world security. You know, hijackers don't derail trains and planes. That's a waste of money and resources. They couldn't do a real attack if they did that. That's not even a full adventure. That's not even a full agenda to attack a plane or a train. They're not going to accomplish anything. They gotta sacrifice lives to make a real statement. You can't just derail a plane or a train. People turn their heads. So the only one that would attack themselves that way is the government. And I wouldn't even call it an attack, because it's a staged event. To say attack would mean that they're telling the truth. They're telling a lie. It's not even an illusion. It's a total misconception. It's not transparency. It will create a transparency in your reality because you see it and then you ignore it. And they say they told you because they say a train derailed. Well, a train derailed doesn't mean anything to us. But we know it doesn't mean anything to us, so it's out of the ordinary. So therefore you were supposed to notice it. See how the government's working nowadays? They're not trying to reveal themselves totally. They still have to. They still put this out there, though. You wonder why? It's because the whole United Nations, the whole world, wants to take over with how they're going to make humans out to be. Well, the aliens have their own agenda on that too. And that goes from the top, passes the government, and then it goes back down to the floor. I'm allowed to make these videos, but the aliens approve of it. The government can't come kill me. But you know what they'll do? They'll make life very unpleasant. And I'm already living an unpleasant life. So therefore, I'm still going to report this. You can't stop me. Really? I've been doing this for like 10, 20 years. I just barely started making videos. You can't stop me. It's ridiculous. Government leaves comments on social media. They really put comments in your comment box. There's a dude named Constitution Lost on the internet. Not even a real dude. They call him the Kenmar Bomber. That was the last of those make-believe bomb threats. And the dude said he was making Oregon. You know, that's just a copy of a mind frame of other people like me who put stuff like that out on the media, saying I'm doing Orgonite, and having the fear that people are going to come and bomb you, or that the government's going to accuse you of making bombs. So what they did is they just stole what the freedom people do and their fears and put it as if it was them, so they look more innocent or create false flags, or so that we're ignored. Because if you're trying to do something righteous and the government's after you, and they make a new agenda and create shadows of you and put them somewhere else, what steals from your original power? It's like if they sidelined Martin Luther King. What about if they made another parade for somebody similar to Martin Luther King? Martin Luther King wouldn't have had his exposure. But they didn't have somebody like Martin Luther King back then, but they did think about it. You know, a lot of people don't, a lot of these young kids nowadays that are into this, they don't have a relevant past history. You know, I grew up in the 80s, but there was a strong version of what happened in the 70s and 60s and 50s instilled in my aunts and uncles and the stories they passed down, which, you know, back then we didn't have all the social media, so everything was passed down from stories, and pretty accurate ones. You know, they try to get not only one version of the story, they told 2 or 3 afterwards and let you ask questions, and they answered them fully, and that's what we're missing nowadays. But when you see government trying to blindly act like they're an entity, and they're getting ready for the elections, you know, they're trying to re-institutionalize who they are here in America, and the whole world, the other governments are going to try to follow the lead of America and steal that version too, and create an illusion, and then they'll try to put it into reality, but really they're lying. So they're not going to go along with that. They're just going to give the illusion that that's what it is in the public eye. So remember, you have your Second Amendment, Fifth Amendment, and all the amendments in between, and we're going to use them all. We're going to use them all. You know, the government fears an educated person, and there's a reason why. Because they believe that they're a government person. They believe that they've combined the two. They forget they are only a government. They're still a person. They lose office. These elected officials believe that they could become more than that. That's a false sense of power. But I'm going to have to get out of here. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video.